Welcome back, Warriors. Listen, today I wanted to talk about the infamous catheter. I know everybody worries about it. It's I don't know, it's uncomfortable. It's in the way, and all that good stuff. But I guess for me, it really wasn't that big of an ordeal. The biggest ordeal I had was, of course, coming home. I've never had a catheter, so it was kind of a weird thing for me to have. But um, lugging that bag around, it was no big deal. I mean, I hung it on a little. My wife had me sit up by the couch, and she had a little ladder sitting there because that's all we had that would work. And she hung it on the little ladder, little step stool. And then, of course, you got to get up and empty it and do all that stuff. But as far as the people talk about on some of the support groups that it's uncomfortable, and it really wasn't. I mean, it was there, and I knew it was there. Um, what I did find is that when I went to bed at night, I would hang it on that little ladder next to the bed and let it sit there. Of course, I had to lay on my back and then let so I didn't kink the tube or anything, and that wasn't an issue. But the best thing about a catheter is you don't have to get out of bed to go pee two, three, four, 5 times a night, right? So you can actually sleep like an adult and not like a baby. You ever notice that? People say if you sleep, I slept like a baby last night. Well, babies get up every 2 to 3 hours. Um, so I slept like a baby after the catheter was out. So, um, th- and then talk about I had more anxiety about getting the catheter out uh, than I did going into surgery. And I think I said that on one of my other videos. It wasn't nothing crazy, but you didn't know what to expect. So I'm going to tell you what to expect. Um, I had my doctor is in is it was at Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. Um, he wasn't there when I went to have the catheter taken out. Just a nurse was there, and I walked in there. She brought me to the back. She goes, "Hey, I do these things all day long. It's really not that big of a deal." I'm like, "Well, I liked it better when they put it in because I was sleeping. I wasn't really looking forward to this coming out." She goes, "Well, it doesn't hurt. I mean, and it don't hurt." Um, so she goes, "Well, just get them out," and that's exactly what she said. Get them out. So you just stand up and get them out so they can clean up a little bit and get ready to pull the catheter out. And literally, you take a deep breath, and as you exhale, they just slide it out. And when I say it doesn't hurt, I swear to you, it doesn't hurt, not one bit. You get a little pressure or uncomfortable feeling, I guess, because the tube is coming from your bladder. If you had a JP valve or JP valve, I think it's JP valve, when they pulled that out, that little uncomfortable feeling you had when they pulled that out, it's the same exact thing except for it's in your bladder. So really it was gone. That was it. Now, after that, I recommend either some kind of pad or if you have a lot of leaking, then I would recommend an adult diaper. But I never had to do that. I always wore just a pad, and I probably wore a pad for probably three and a half, up until just a couple weeks ago. So almost 4 months, I wore a pad, and I had minimal leakage though. Now, some people, I've heard some stories of people standing up and their bladder just drains as soon as they stood up. I didn't have that problem. Mine was very minimal. But it was I still had to wear a pad for a good long time, a good period of time. I even wore a diaper to bed for a short part of that time because I was afraid that I wouldn't wake up to go to the bathroom. That was not the case. I never even needed the diaper, but it was there. So I got rid of that probably within 3 weeks after the catheter was out. I got rid of that, and I only wore a pad during the day when I was out doing things. Um, but what I did learn for me, and everybody's experience is a little bit different. For me, um, I was like, man, at some point I got to get rid of this pad. I don't want to wear this my whole life. Um, so I started doing Kegel exercises. Super important to do Kegel exercises. Do those before you even have surgery. But I religiously did them and continue to do them to this day. And I'm roughly 4 months post surgery. Um, so I got past all that, and then one day I'm sitting there. I'm like, I really don't have that much leakage issues. So I thought I'm going to try quitting drinking caffeine because we all know caffeine irritates the bladder and it's a diuretic, so it causes you to have to pee a whole lot more. so, so I quit drinking caffeine, and that sucked because I love coffee, but I just drank decaf, and that made me feel a little better. And over a period of probably 2 weeks, I saw less and less, and I quit wearing the pad, and I'd go to work without wearing it, and that was kind of like walking a tightrope with Vaseline on it, right? You're like, man, this is a recipe for disaster. But I carry them with me anyway, just in case. So a week after I realized I don't even need to wear these no more, and now I will still. Let me tell you, if I cough or sneeze, yeah, you're gonna leak a little bit. So if you've got a cold and you're coughing and sneezing, you might want to throw a pad in there just to cover things. Um, but I guess I, so. What I did is after I realized the caffeine was the problem. In fact, this was just the other day. My wife and I were sitting on the couch, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to have an espresso. I just want to see if that's what it really was." So I made an espresso, sit on the couch, drank that. Let me tell you, it wasn't 2 hours went by, and I started leaking again. It irritated my bladder. Whatever the medical reasons are, it does it. I'm not here for medical advice, but it did cause it again. So next day, no caffeine, and here we are a week later. I've had no caffeine, and the only leaking I had was was sneezing or coughing, and that's it. So it's not the end of the world. I know that some people have it a whole lot worse, so I'm very blessed to be where I'm at as far as the leaking goes. I know that, but if you do have a more severe case of it, man, do the Kegel exercises. They work. I'm telling you, they work. It may not stop it, but it'll reduce it. I would guess, and do a little research too as why. Like I said, I'm no medical person. I'm not a nurse, doctor, or anything like that. But I did a little bit of research on it. Do a little research on why you have leakage and why the Kegel exercises work. It's pretty interesting to hear what all goes on with that. So, but yeah, check it out. Listen, catheter's not a big deal, man. Once you're done with carrying that thing around, getting it out, it's not a big deal. Don't stress over it. Don't get freaked out about it. These people remove them every day, all day. Remember, 1 in 8 men get prostate cancer. So you think of how many catheters they're removing. So, yeah, that's it. Just want to hit on that catheter stuff. Hey, y'all have a blessed day. Continue on, Warriors. Man, fight this thing. It's not the end of your life. It's a journey in our life, but it's not the end of our life. So, if you know another cancer person dealing with cancer, support them, man. Be there for them. Call them once in a while. Shoot them a text. Check on them. Because just like you, they're probably struggling a little bit too. Whether they're in the beginning stages, they're in the middle of it, or they're out of it, you still have some little struggles that come along the way. And if I can help in any way, drop a comment in my video, and if there's something else you want to hear about that I experienced through my journey with cancer, let me know. I go back to the doctor in March for PSA test again and a checkup with my surgeon, and praying that I am still 0.01 undetectable. Y'all have a great day, a blessed day, and continue on being warriors.